Why would you say something like that to Kate, Mom? Oh, did I say something? It's about the baby in her belly. The baby seems to be growing up healthy. Don't play dumb. I heard you say something awful when you found out it was a girl. Oh? What about that? What about that? Kate was really upset about it. Well, you see, you're our only son, right? Kate has a duty to bear an heir, right? What's that about? We're not some fancy family. Heirs don't matter, right? I don't care about that. Well, I do. I want to keep your late dad's last name. Dad wasn't the kind of person to wish for such nonsense. Kate's pregnant and sensitive. So could you please stop saying hurtful things? She's part of our family as your wife. It's important for her to understand her role as a wife. Her role? Yeah, it's about bearing an heir. And also, obeying what the mother-in-law says. Kate doesn't seem to get the basics of being a wife. I don't care about that stuff. I just want my family to be healthy and happy. It's because you're saying such nice things that your wife gets the wrong idea. Anyway, don't say anything unnecessary to Kate. If you ever hurt her again, I won't forgive you. Okay, fine. Kate, are you home? I heard you're not feeling well. Hi, Glenda. Yeah, my belly's been feeling really tight and swollen. They're worried about premature birth, so they told me to take it easy at home. I'm feeling okay, though. Well, that's good. You should come over then. Huh? It's a walking distance from your house, right? But moving around makes my belly tight. And I don't want to risk anything happening to the baby. I'd rather stay at home. What? Can't you listen to what your mother-in-law says? You're being quite bold, aren't you? Could you please tell me the reason why I should go? Huh? Do you need help with something? That's right. You can at least cook, right? Why don't you come over sometime and make dinner for me? It's not acceptable for a daughter-in-law to leave her living alone mother-in-law alone, right? Well, I don't think cooking should be a problem. What? The last time I came over to help with cleaning, something bothered me. It's been bothering me ever since then. Huh? You kept tripping me while I was cleaning, didn't you? Why would I do something like that? Were you trying to make me fall? And it wasn't just once. It happened several times. You kept tripping me. How rude. Why would I ever do something like that? Stop making false accusations. I'd never trip a pregnant woman, would I? Was it all in my head? At one point, the vacuum cleaner handle was shoved right into my belly. That happened because I was moving the vacuum cleaner. And you happened to be in front of me, right? Is that so? So it was just me misunderstanding things? Of course. I wouldn't do something like that on purpose. How rude. Maybe it's just pregnancy blues. Lately, I've been feeling negative about everything. So I think it's best to avoid coming over until after the birth. What? What's that supposed to mean? It's like you're blaming me for making you feel like that. I'm just reminding you of your duties as a daughter-in-law, that's all. I've known for a while that you don't like me. So I've always felt a bit guilty. I was hoping that once I became pregnant, your feelings might change. But when you found out it was a girl, what you said was also upsetting. Are you really bothered by that? Well, you took someone's precious son away, so it's only natural to be disliked, isn't it? What? Plus, not being able to have a child to carry on the family name is pretty sad, isn't it? Maybe it's no surprise you're getting teased, huh? But tripping a pregnant woman could put the baby's life at risk. Oh, God. I said it wasn't intentional, didn't I? It's because you're clumsy and keep getting in the way. I just want to focus on having a healthy baby right now. So I prefer to stay at home until I give birth. I'm sorry. That's quite a statement, huh? So you're saying you won't listen to your mother-in-law? I can't do anything about it. Dale also said I don't have to go. He said that? It's because you keep talking shit about me. I just told him what happened the other day. I never said anything bad about you. Fine. Such a failure of a daughter-in-law. Can't even be kind to her mother-in-law. Kate, are you in the hospital? You need to contact me as soon as possible. Huh? Hospital? You poor thing. Having to go to the hospital because you fell? What are you talking about, Glenda? Is the baby okay? I've been worried, which is why I texted you. What's going on? I don't know what you're talking about. I know you don't like me, but I'm not the type to be cold-hearted. I imagine you must be feeling down. But hey, you can always have another child, right? A child? You went out to buy groceries, didn't you? You tripped and hit a car while walking. The neighbors told me everything, matched up with what happened to you. Plus, it happened at the supermarket you always go to, so I was sure it was you. What? I'm just at home making lunch. I haven't even been outside. Huh? Come to think of it, I did hear an ambulance siren earlier. Was that it? What do you mean by was that it? You were the one that got taken away, right? I mean, they were wearing that denim dress you always wear. There aren't many options for easy-to-wear maternity clothes. And now with social media sharing detailed updates, a lot of pregnant women end up wearing the same outfits. She was also wearing those famous white shoes from that well-known brand. That's also getting around on social media. So many women who aren't pregnant are wearing them too. Her hairstyle was also the same as yours. Black hair with a bob style. There are always lots of people with the same hairstyle. Huh? That can't be right. There's no way I could have made a mistake. Glenda, you know a lot considering you only heard about it. That's because the person who told me paid close attention. Accidents happen out of the blue, right? I think even bystanders would be surprised. So, were they really paying such close attention to all those details? People are different, you know? What you notice, others might not. Are you sure it wasn't you who actually saw it happen? Huh? No way. Why do you sound nervous all of a sudden? Are you involved with the accident? I just passed by the scene. That's why I know the details. What? I thought you heard it from your neighbor. Huh? Did I say that? Glenda, do you have something to do about the accident? Hell no! Why would I? But isn't it weird that you know all the details like the clothes style, shoe brand, and even the hairstyle? And still, you could tell it was the same as mine, right? I was worried it might have been you in the accident. Especially with the baby coming, an accident would be really bad. I'm glad you care, but it's kind of creepy how much you know. So, I'm curious, what were you doing there to see it all? I was going for a walk. Going for a walk? You always mock it, saying it's something only old people do. You've never been for a walk even once. That's not true, is it? I was thinking of coming to see you. It's getting close to the baby's due date, so I was concerned about your health. Dale said no visits, right? He's been really clear about it. And until now, you never showed up. What's going on, Glenda? Just tell me the truth. Enough already. I thought you were rushed to the hospital, but here you are at home. What's going on? Mom, I talked to Kate. Please, just tell me the truth. I hate to think about it, but if you were the one who tripped that pregnant lady, it would be a big problem. Dale? I don't know what she told you, but I have no idea what that's about. No, I had a bad feeling about it and contacted the police. About what? I was curious, why was that lady taken to the hospital? Why would you do something like that? It has nothing to do with you, right? Yes, it does. Mom, if you know something, please tell us. Huh? What are you trying to say? The police interviewed eyewitnesses, and it seems there was someone who witnessed the whole thing. Really? The pregnant lady told the paramedics that as she was walking, a stranger tripped her out of nowhere, causing her to fall forward and hit her belly hard. She also mentioned lightly bumping into a car during the fall. I see. That's scary. I wonder if that lady did something to make someone hold a grudge against her. I don't know about that. So, what happened to the lady? You want to know? Of course. I'm worried about her condition because she's in the same situation as Kate. Do you know what happened after? Mom, are you really not involved? If you know something, you'd better speak up now. It could be a crime. Wait, Dale, let me explain something. I was just trying to play a harmless prank on Kate. I never meant to hurt her. And I had no idea that woman was a stranger. So please, keep this between us. What the hell, Mom? I knew it! What have you done? What happened to the lady? She got some scratches, but both the mother and the baby were okay. That's good. What's good about it? She is injured. Go to the police right now and apologize sincerely to that poor lady. Are you serious? Are you trying to make me a criminal? I didn't mean any harm, so please forgive me. Let's just pretend we didn't know anything. Do you realize what you've done, Mom? If you won't admit to your mistake, I'll go and talk to them myself. Even if I stay silent, Kate won't forgive you. No way. Hey, Kate. Dale is telling me to go to the police and turn myself in. Please talk some sense into him. Do your role as a wife. Are you still saying that at this point? What you did was wrong, you know? You could have lost 2 lives. I'm truly sorry about all of this. I apologize for everything I've done to you as well. Please, help me convince Dale. I can't let it slide. That lady has people who care about her too, you know? Don't you feel sorry for her and her family? You need to own up to what you did. Tell the police everything and apologize to the lady. I'll be a criminal if I do that. Is that what you want from me too? It's a fact. With eyewitnesses and all, I believe it's only a matter of time before you get caught. Don't you think it's better to go to the police yourself rather than wait? Wait, so you're saying if I don't go voluntarily, the police will come to get me? Yes. I don't want that at all. If that happens, I'll be humiliated on national news. I can't bear such a disgrace. Being shown on TV as a criminal? Are you being serious? You're missing the point here. If I were that lady, I'd hate you from the bottom of my heart. After all, you tried to harm the baby deliberately. That's not true. I never intended to harm anyone's life. I just wanted to make you suffer a little. You get me? You took away my precious son and failed to fulfill your duties as a wife. You can't even bear a successor. It's only natural for a mother-in-law to think that way, isn't it? Is that really how you feel? Even if I let you off the hook this time, there's a chance you'll try to hurt me again, isn't there? No, I'm never going to do anything stupid again. I apologize. You did something that could put me and my child in danger. I can't let this slide. If you don't go tell them yourself, I will. You hurt that woman and showed no remorse. I can't forgive you for that. No way. I'm sorry, Kate. I will never do something like this, so please forgive me. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to the person you hurt. Kate. I'm cutting ties with you. Don't say that. This is something serious. Living with constant uncertainty is no joke. As a mother-to-be, I have to prioritize my child's safety. I can't be with someone who doesn't value human life and health. I've apologized and reflected on what I've done, haven't I? Have you really? Saying sorry doesn't fix everything. Dale might cut ties with you after speaking to the police. Even though you're his mother, he won't stick around if you're a threat to his family. You're kidding me, right? I'd be left alone. You reap what you sow, right? Just accept the consequences. I don't want that. Holding the next generation of this family has always been my dream. That's not going to happen. We are not going to let you see our child. By now, I think Dale is probably talking to the police. So just wait for them to come pick you up. You're so cold-hearted. Are you really going to abandon your mother-in-law? Shouldn't you be listening to what I say? You're still on that? This is not going anywhere, so goodbye. I will block you on everything. We'll never see each other again. Take care. Please don't say that. Help your mother-in-law. After that, the police came and took Glenda. Thankfully, the lady only had minor injuries, so they settled things with just compensation. I wished my mother-in-law would face consequences and reflect on her actions. She got lucky. As expected, after facing criticism from the neighbors, Glenda quickly left her home. Soon after, her house was put up for sale. I suppose she used the money for the compensation and to find a new place to live. Since then, Dale and I have completely cut ties with Glenda. We have no idea how she's currently living. Me, on the other hand, I gave birth to a healthy baby girl. She's the cutest thing, like a dream come true with Dale. Right now, we're staying at my parents' place. But soon, we'll move to our own place to keep our distance from Glenda and start fresh as a family of 3. Wishing everyone good health and a peaceful life ahead.
Hey, Lindsay, guess what? What's up? I got my first big paycheck. Oh, yeah? You remember how I finally got my first real job last month, right? Well, I finally got paid, and it feels so good.
Congrats, that's really great.
That's it?
What do you mean?
You're not gonna ask me how much I got.
All right, how much did you get?
Well, let's just say I got way more than you get at your job. You know where I'm working, right?
Yeah, I know your company's pretty famous. You really talked my ear off about it once you got hired.
Oh, I don't quite remember doing that. Luckily for me, though, I got this amazing job because of how smart I am. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for you.
Yeah, you're a real genius.
You've got to be super jealous.
Oh yeah, totally. I wish I could be super smart like my big sister.
That's what I thought. I mean, I'd be jealous if I were you too. You dropped out of high school and started working. But you're really just scraping by, right? I know your job barely pays you anything.
Yeah, well, I'm not living some super luxurious life or anything, but I'm saving up a lot and I'm living a nice, simple life.
Oh, I find that hard to believe. You're not sending any money back to Mom and Dad, right?
That's because Dad told me I didn't have to.
Of course he's gonna say that. Since I got so much money with this paycheck, I'm going to be a good daughter and send a bunch of money to Mom and Dad.
Oh, well, maybe it's a good idea after all. Do you think I should?
Oh, could you even send them $1? There's no way you can afford to send them anything on the salary you're making.
It was kind of tough at first living on that money and being on my own, but I had a lot of freedom to do what I want. And now I make even more than I did when I started.
So what? How could you be happy as a poor high school dropout?
Considering everything, I'm actually pretty happy. Obviously, I can't work at a big, famous company like you, but I'm doing everything I can to make a living for myself.
Well, that sounds kind of pathetic if you ask me.
I don't think it's pathetic at all.
Oh, I guess I'm being a bit harsh on my little baby sis. I'll take it easier on you from now on.
Thanks, I guess.
Even though you're a dropout, you're really trying hard not to ask for any handouts from Mom and Dad, right? That's so nice of you.
Yeah, I promised myself I'd never ask them for money.
What a mature adult you've become.
It doesn't really feel that way. Well, anyway, I'm a little busy at the moment. Good luck with your job.
Hang on there. I forgot to mention. I'm in charge of a really big project at work right now.
That's great.
I heard from one of my coworkers that there's this really incredible freelancer, right? Apparently she's always super busy because of how good she is at her job. We want to try and contract her to do some work for us. And they put me in charge of making a deal to get her to do some work for our company.
They really did that even though you just started working there?
Of course I won't be totally alone. My coworker is going to be there, but just to watch over me. But I bet the reason they gave it to me is because they really expect big things out of an outstanding worker like me. I bet everyone at the company is super jealous of me already.
It sounds like you have your work cut out for you. Don't let them down.
I don't need you to tell me that. You know me. I've always been the genius of the family.
Sure. You always really studied hard in school. You were even top of your class every year, weren't you? I always looked up to you for that.
Of course you did. My plan is to get my foot in the door with that big-time freelancer. I know she'll really take a liking to me as soon as I get the chance to talk with her. If I do that, then I'll get a promotion for sure. I don't just want to be a normal company grunt that never moves up in the ranks. I've got to climb to the top.
While I'm glad to hear you've set some pretty high goals for yourself, I just hope you don't set your expectations too high.
What are you talking about? You think a brilliant person like me could ever fail?
No, that's not what I mean. I just mean you have to be careful to remember that you're working at a company, not just on your own. You have to treat people right.
I don't remember ever asking a dropout like you for advice. I'm the one who should be giving you all the advice.
All right, well, I won't say anything else then.
Of course you won't. Just sit there and nod your head like a good little girl when I talk to you.
Ha ha ha, okay, got it. Well, anyway, like I said, I'm kind of busy right now. I guess I'll talk to you later.
Why didn't you say anything?
What do you mean?
Why didn't you say that you're the freelancer my company wanted to get a contract with?
Oh, yeah. When you were telling me about that project you were assigned to, I thought maybe it could have been me you were talking about. I didn't know for sure until we actually saw each other in person.
How could you, of all people, be so successful as a freelancer? I have no idea how this could have happened.
I think I mentioned it to you once before.
I don't remember that.
Well, I did. You probably don't remember because you don't care about anything in my life.
Don't you have any idea how big and famous my company is? We only want to work with the best of the best. They won't just take some bum off the street. Why would they have any interest in you?
Well, thanks for the compliment, I guess. Do you remember our conversation when we had the meeting?
No, not really.
Well, do you at least remember how you acted? Or did you already forget?
I acted normally. What are you talking about? Nothing out of the ordinary for two sisters talking with each other.
We met each other for business, not for fun.
Yeah, well, who cares? I don't work for you. What makes you think you can act so high and mighty all of a sudden? The coworker I was with was furious after the meeting.
Was your coworker mad at me?
Of course he was.
I don't quite think so.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Well, for starters, you weren't being professional at all. You talked to me like we were at home or something. Not only that, you just assumed that the contract was a done deal.
Well, of course it is. If I'm negotiating with my sister, it's obviously not going to fall through. There's no way you could ever say no to me.
I don't think you understand how busy I am. I really have a lot on my plate right now. So much that I'm constantly turning down work from other companies.
So what?
That means that just because I have an offer from your company doesn't mean I have to take it.
Are you stupid? Are you going to turn down my company's gracious offer for work?
I'm still on the fence about it.
How could you be so dumb to turn down a huge contract from a company like mine? What an obnoxious thing to hear coming out of a high school dropout like you.
I don't think me being a dropout is relevant anymore. We're both working adults now.
It's absolutely relevant. Above anything else, we're sisters.
That's especially irrelevant right now. Also, thinking back on what you said, the reason why we met the other day was so I could hear more about the offer from your company. That kind of presentation you gave was supposed to persuade me to accept the work from your company. But from the way you talked to me, there's no way I would take the offer if it were a normal situation. I walked away not really knowing what the work was going to be like.
All right, so then why not just ask me now?
What?
Why did I need to explain everything to you then? You could have just asked me any time if you wanted to know something. If you didn't understand something, just ask me right now. I'll be nice enough to answer any of your questions.
That's not the point. What I'm saying is that would have been totally unacceptable if we weren't sisters. Your coworker wasn't mad at me. I really think he was mad at you for how badly you treated me.
Absolutely not. You were totally unfriendly and cold towards us. That's why he was mad. I bet he couldn't believe how rude you were to your own family.
Is that what he said?
No, he didn't have to. I'll be meeting with him later today. He'll probably tell me then. But don't worry. I'll make sure to put in the good word with him for you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right now, he probably doesn't think very highly of you after we met. So like I said, I'll make sure I say you're not always that rude. That way we won't have to retract our generous offer to you. Just leave it to your big sis to clean up the mess you made. You should feel lucky to have such a kind sister like me.
You've really never changed, have you, Katie? For someone as smart as you, I'm sure you really believe you're a genius.
What's that supposed to mean? Is that a compliment or an insult?
I'll just leave it at that. Let me know how it goes after you talk with your coworker. I'm sure he's got a lot to say to you.
Yeah, I bet he does. Make sure you let me know once you've accepted our offer. And when you do, make sure you say how it was all thanks to me. You'd really be helping me climb up the ladder at my company. If we're going to be working together, we have to help each other out, right? What's his problem? I have no idea why he was so pissed at me. How ridiculous is this?
I'm guessing you talked with your coworker?
He said my demeanor isn't professional at all. He said I was being disrespectful towards you. Oh, he must be crazy or something.
Katie, I really want you to think clearly about what he's saying. You can't think of me as your sister. You have to treat me like you would any other client. What would happen if you treated any other client the way you treated me?
What are you talking about? Like I already said, above everything else, we're sisters.
Yeah, but even as sisters, the way you acted was unacceptable. I totally understand why your coworker is mad at you. Even after he said all that to you, you still think you're right?
Well, maybe I shouldn't have been so casual in the way I talked to you, but more important, did you really turn down our offer?
Yeah, I did.
Why? Are you trying to embarrass me?
I don't have to say yes to any work that I don't want, even if we are sisters. To be honest, I still have no idea what the job was going to be like.
I told you to ask me if you didn't know.
That isn't the point. The point was that you were supposed to explain everything when we had the meeting. That's the whole reason why I was there.
All right, but just please hang on. Please come back again and I'll explain everything to you. That would fix this, right?
I really wish I could. I would love to come back and hear what you have to say. But honestly, I have so much on my plate right now. I really don't have the time to come back. Sorry.
Don't think that you could just say sorry. This is really gonna kill me. You should have heard the way my coworker was screaming at me.
He was really that mad?
Yeah, because I told him that since we were sisters, there's no way you would turn us down. I said, leave it to me, I'll take care of everything.
You probably shouldn't have said that. Just because we're related doesn't mean I'll say yes to you. Why would you think that?
Oh, everyone is really mad at me right now. How could this happen to a perfect genius like me? I was valedictorian at college, for crying out loud. Oh, I can't take the feeling of other people being mad at me.
Well, genius or not, at the very least, you need to have some common sense.
What are you talking about? I'm the master of common sense.
I'm not so sure about that. For someone that was put in charge of a project this big, I think it's pretty obvious you should never have treated me the way you did, even if I am your sister. Did you even notice your coworker's reaction when you were talking to me? He was white as a ghost. If you really did have any common sense, you would have realized his reaction and changed your attitude.
I did notice, but that's not why he reacted like that. He was like that because he was shocked at how disrespectful you were being.
You've got to be crazy if you think that's what happened. You should have been paying more attention. Anyone else would have noticed immediately what was really happening.
I really thought that's what was happening. Oh, what's the point of telling me this now?
Now that I think about it, I kind of warned you about the way you were acting. I said, if we're going to do business together, I think it'd be better to treat me like you'd treat any other client, even if we are related. But you just laughed it off, didn't you?
All right, I apologize for the way I treated you. But please, just accept our offer.
I already told you, no. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to keep talking about this with you. I won't bring any of this up again.
I can't believe you. I never thought you could be so cruel to your own sister. Wait a second. Are you doing this because you saw how much I make?
What are you talking about?
Oh, that's why, isn't it? You wanted to bring me down because I make so much more than you.
All right, well, if that's what you think, I have some news for you. I actually make 10 times as much as you.
There's no way in hell you make that much. How could a high school dropout like you be so arrogant?
Go ahead, you can look at my pay stubs. I really think it would be a good lesson for you. You can see how much money a freelancer is capable of making. I'd be happy to teach you all about it.
Who do you think you are? What could an idiot like you possibly teach someone like me? You didn't even make it through high school. You're out of your mind if you think you're better than me.
Is that right? I sure hope your ego doesn't get the best of you like it is right now once you get back to work.
Who are you to talk to me that way? You probably barely make $2,000 a month. You must be stupid if you think you make 10 times what I do.
You're way off. You're missing 2 zeros.
Bullshit. Do you think I'm an idiot? You really think I believe you make $200,000 a month? Are you so stupid that you can't do basic math?
I'm not lying. The most I've made in a month was $200,000. You'll never see that much money in your whole life.
You're being serious.
Yup. That's why I can take or turn down any job I want. Of course, in the past, I started off only making a couple $100 a month. And as you know, I'm not the genius you are. So I really had to pull myself up by my bootstraps and work my butt off. I'm actually really thankful because in a way, you were my motivation to work this hard.
All right, well, if you really mean that, well, why don't you just take the job?
No, I already told you that's not happening. To be honest, it's not that I don't want to work with your company. I really just don't want to work with you.
Are you serious?
Even though I flat out refused the offer from my sister's company, she tried to use her power as my sister to force negotiations to make me accept. I had no choice but to get my parents involved. Of course, they absolutely ripped her apart for the way she was acting. After that, things didn't go so well for her at her company. A year later, she handed in her resignation and changed jobs. She eventually got a job as a telemarketer. I don't think she'll be bothering me again, especially since I've completely cut off all communication with her. I bet despite everything that happened, she still thinks of herself as a genius. But if you ask me, how smart are you if you get totally owned by a high school dropout like me?